Hi, welcome to OKX by OKC podcast. And here we talk about DeFi, GameFi, Metaverse, crypto, and everything else related to them. This is your host, James. Hello everyone, welcome to OKX by OKC podcast. And in today's podcast, we have two guests from Band Protocol, Shine and Fon. Hi Shine, hi Fon, how's it going?
Hi, very happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here too.
Great. I'm happy to have you guys here as well. So first of all, let's talk about Band Protocol. Could you guys give me a brief introduction about yourselves and Band Protocol?
Okay, so I'll go first then. My name is Fon and I'm the Chief Strategy Officer of Band, and I'm here with Shine, who is our Head of Operations and Product. To give you a quick introduction of Band, I would say it's important to take a step back and address the problems that Band is trying to solve in Web3 by providing a reliable and trustworthy Oracle solutions, because that's what we do. Our flagship product is an Oracle solution. Blockchain technology has increased adoption recently, I'm sure everyone has seen, especially in DeFi space. Having said that, smart contracts that is used to create these DeFi protocols cannot access trusted real-world data outside of their network without an Oracle solution. And since a lot of activities still happen off-chain, for example, trades on centralized exchanges, there is a clear market need for oracles. Notable ones is what we do the most, which is price feed data of assets, such as cryptocurrencies, commodities, or even foreign exchanges. So in the simplest form, also known as a centralized oracle, the application's owner can actually create services to query data from the real world and push data to smart contracts by sending transaction. Any generic Oracle solution at all is seen by smart contracts as another smart contract that they can quote unquote call to give the value they want. The issues by using this method or using a centralized Oracle are two things. One is there's a lack of transparency, given it is operated by one entity. And two, the centralized nature means that there is a single point of failure. So this could lead to a whole ecosystem being compromised if, let's say, like there's huge price swing or a collapse of one token. It could really affect the associated protocols. This is where Band comes in. We provide trusted real-world data through our decentralized Oracle flagship product, which is powered by our Band chain, and we relay data onto blockchain to allow smart contracts to access them. It is decentralized, and there are multiple actors in the Band ecosystem working together for the output feeds. We also use multiple data sources and network of validators to ensure this. And without such data, it is impossible to guarantee that funds are saved. And when we talk to our partners and integrate to protocols, user safety is the most important thing for us.
So essentially, Band Protocol is just another Oracle service provider, which is actually, as you mentioned, something very, very important in Web3 world. And well, if you look at the market, there are other types of Oracle platforms that offer Oracle solutions, such as Chainlink. So what makes you guys better than, let's say, your competitors?
So I would say three things. So number one is interoperability. Our mission is to be the go-to infrastructure solutions provider to all aspiring builder out there. So our Oracle is actually available on both L1 and L2s out there. And we are part of the Cosmos ecosystem being built based on Cosmos SDK. And we have upgraded our chain to enable IBC as well, which is, I would think, one of the most important steps in tackling communications between players in Cosmos. So I think this really differentiates us. We are also EVM-compatible and available on the major EVM chains, as well as in some substrates. Number two, I would say, is we're quite flexible in our solution. So we are able to integrate custom data feeds that our partner requests. This could really be some specific forex that they need or a certain commodity price. And on top of that, the feeds themselves can be customized to serve a spectrum of use cases. You can see this as we are partnered with multiple chains. So they may have to support multiple dApps needing different feeds and different confidence intervals, for example, or we can cater towards protocol with specific requirements. Our partner can determine the frequency or interval of price feeds as well as accepted deviation or confidence intervals that they prefer. And last but not least, we offer fast service and we also offer monitoring. On top of delivering our secure product, we provide integration and monitoring services. We work hand in hand with our partners to ensure that the product is integrated properly and runs smoothly. We also do monitoring and to ensure security and reliability of the product itself. Should there be any issues at all, the team is always available to support our partner teams.
Awesome. Those 3 points that you just mentioned, it's like the foundation that any platform that's offering Oracle solutions need, because without these, as you said, the points, it's really hard to compete in this market, especially right now in Web3 world. Like lots of stuff is happening. Just consider GameFi or NFTs and all that, and we have new tokens being created every day, and it's really important for the projects to have such Oracle solutions where it's really interoperable and like offers flexible solutions. And speaking of GameFi industry, what do you think about it? Like, what's the current status of GameFi industry?
So it's strictly our opinion, but I've seen that there's a plethora of games out there, but only a handful have real adoption. And we think it could be because we're still in the early days and game developers are only just beginning or to pivot or extend their businesses from Web 2 into Web 3. I think it's a really exciting time as we're seeing a lot of like an influx of interest of developers, of money coming in. But at the end of the day, I think the game itself must be fun and enticing to create real retention. So I believe the fundamentals of gameplay must not be lost here as people or people moving into the space try to pivot. So what do you think, Shine?
I'm thinking about the metaverse, which is very trendy now, right? For the example, like other side from BAYC and Sandbox. So the player have data, which is tokenized by NFT, and can enter to that metaverse, walking around and communicate to other player. Yeah, and about the other opinion is about mostly developer are the Web3 developer, but not so much game developer in the traditional games company. So that means there isn't the actual use case in the GameFi yet.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. I mean, in terms of GameFi, we need to think about it as an entertainment. In the end of the day, as you mentioned, entertainment is the foundation of the GameFi or overall game. And if we're thinking about, play to earn, and if we are emphasizing the earn part of GameFi, then it becomes like a work, right? I mean, it does not feel like you are entertaining yourself. You're like working. You're actually working to earn. And in some cases, some GameFis, they offer you good, let's say, returns on your time that you're spending on GameFi, on this project. But still, like, you're actually playing the game and you're not having fun now. But you're trying to earn money, and that's kind of takes away the entertainment part. But as you guys mentioned, like, it's really, really important that we need to focus on the entertainment aspect and think about it as an, in terms of like, think about it in terms of Web 2 games. Like most of them are built on the entertainment purpose, right? But if we are moving to Web 3 world and we're not thinking about entertainment, but thinking mostly about, earning, then I don't know if this type of a trend will last long. But in the end, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what the, let's say, the audience want, what the gamers want. And I think because of those, because of the loss of entertainment part, maybe we are not being able to onboard more gamers on games in Web3. So in terms of GameFi industry, so what are you guys doing so far to break into this industry and help the projects in the space?
So it's precisely what we're discussing, right? We are a solutions provider. So Band aspires to be an industry-leading provider in the infrastructure space. We want to build a suite of Web3 tools that will enable developers to build more efficiently and more securely in this space. So it goes back to what you were saying just now. We want to build a tool that would take away the stress of some of the parts that is not the fundamentals of gameplay, and so that the developers can really focus on what they want to do, or even game designer, for example. So we have identified from working with multiple people in the space, a supported product we think is needed to help facilitate and allow more game developers to break into Web3, or whether they're like in Web2 currently wanting to pivot. So at the end of this month, Band will be launching VRF, or verifiable random function, which is an essential part of gameplay. It essentially allows you to generate a random number and have this element of randomness in the game, whatever the game you're trying to make. If we were to touch on Shine's example earlier, it would also give you a way to create rarity in NFTs. So that kind of randomness and real rarity, I think, could add to the element of fun, and it's essential. We really believe that this could, I would say, help project or game developers focus on making great games, which is the fundamentals and what they're there to do.
Yeah. And at the same time, I think the verifiable random function, it kind of makes it more fair within the game's ecosystem for the users,
absolutely.
because without true randomness, it's really hard for normal users to actually take advantage of the game. As you are mentioning, like in terms of NFTs, if the randomness is not as fair or as transparent as possible, then it's highly likely that some of the let's say bad players of the space, they'll take advantage of this weakness, and that will not create a fair system for everyone that's involved in this case. So let's talk more about Band's VRF. Maybe Shine as the head of the product. What do you think? Like, give us more introduction to Band's VRF.
Sure. Okay. So let's talk about the randomness first. So randomness is a fundamental function that helps to operate many modern decentralized applications or dApps. However, the root and foundation of the vital randomness mechanism is often overlooked. dApps often rely on good randomness that must be newer generated and independent of state of the application. Essentially, random results should have integrity and must be verifiable, temporal, and unpredictable. Many dApps on blockchain still fail to follow through on the crucial verifiable temporal part, and Band VRF is there to address these shortcomings. So to come up with the Band VRF product, so we work closely with the cryptographic researcher to ensure our implementation is secure and truly random. So that means our implementation is based on VRF research paper. So we also provide an easy to use, easy to integrate VRF solution for any dApps that want to use the randomness. So the dApps only need to implement just two functions. The first is request for random number, and the second is to consume random number. We also have the 4 key properties, which make our Band VRF superior to generating random on chain. Number 1 is unpredictable. So it's practically impossible to predict the random number value, since the seed which is used to generate the random number is unknown ahead of the time. So we also choose random read data source, which provide another layer of randomness. Number 2 is unbiased. So we can make sure that every number in the range had equal chance of being selected. Number 3 is verifiable. So we can ensure that any number along with the cryptographic proof, which is verifiable by anyone. So that means we also provide a cryptographic proof, which is verifiable by anyone. So the last is about tamper proof. So this is ensure that there would no malicious actor, miner, validator, developer, or anyone can tamper with the RNG process. You can see more detail in upcoming Band VRF documentations. All of these are to guarantee the user can get a high quality random number and comfortably use our Band VRF.
Yeah, these properties that you just have mentioned, that's I think the foundation of the VRF, right? I mean, without being without guaranteeing the unpredictability and without guaranteeing that it is very secure, that like it cannot be tampered by anyone, you can really offer a good VRF solution. So yeah, this really makes sense. I mean, and I think it's really important for not only GameFis but for other types of use cases, right? So let's talk more about the use cases of VRF. I mean, what benefit will this VRF bring to the Web3 industry? Or if we specifically talk about GameFi industry, what type of benefits does it bring to the GameFi products?
That's a great question. As our VRF actually addresses the verifiable randomness issue, which is pivotal to success of blockchain games gaining mass adoption. For example, consider an online lottery system where participants place their bets, wait for the random result, and winnings are allocated according to the participants' bet placements. Similarly, imagine you open a pack of cards that had only 5% chance of getting a rare card. That is worth, let's say, $5,000. How would you feel if you have a 5% chance of winning this $5,000 NFT? But there is nothing to guarantee that this 5% is either true or random. Where did they come? With application or use cases like this, it is crucial to guarantee that randomness is sampled uniformly and independently of the application state, therefore making it hard to predict, as well as ensuring that there are no malicious actors who can affect the outcome of such lottery winnings and randomized NFT packs. Furthermore, apart from just one-off randomization, the process can actually become a bit more complex when NFT developer, when NFT develop or change over time. For example, game character can evolve after leveling up, and property and stats of such characters change over time under randomized conditions. The ability to verify such randomness for NFT characters that have a high value is beneficial to both game user and game developers who benefit from the extra credibility.
Yeah, you're talking about credibility, and I think it's also one of the most important aspects of an NFT project or any other GameFi project, because once you lose the credibility of the users, then it's really hard to gain it back. I mean, just think about, once the users find out that you're actually cheating and you're not using true randomness and you're not actually, making it possible for people to win those rare NFT cards, or maybe the characters are not really leveling up according to the true randomness, it really becomes hard for the game projects to actually evolve, because you're going to lose the trust of your community, and essentially the community is the one that makes up the the greatness or the success of the project. So let's go back to, let's talk a little bit about the community and GameFi projects. Like we talked about how the games should be on Web3, they should be really entertaining and they should be really, fun to play. Yeah, of course, that is one of the reasons why we are not probably getting more gamers on board. What do you think? Is there any other reasons why not a lot of gamers are, starting to play GameFi projects on Web3?
Honestly, we do think there's like a huge potential in gaming, and there's so many gamers out there. I think it's two things here because we're talking about GameFi, right? Number one is the fundamentals of the game itself. As we were just all discussing, it has to be fun. And the second part is the fi part, or like when you pivot into Web3, the tokenomics has to really make sense. So you need to marry this two part where the game's got to be fun, but the tokenomics of it has to make sense too. And games sort of come and go in cycles, of course, with exceptions of like legendary ones, right? So I would love to see how one could engineer a sustainable tokenomic model that may or may not involve the game's token, but let's say there's an ecosystem with multiple elements to it, and they're all linked by tokenomics. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is there's two hurdles. It's not just the game, but it's also the tokenomic has to make sense. With DeFi, it's straightforward. The tokenomics and the value creation is much more straightforward, I would say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When it comes to tokenomics, it's really important to actually offer something that lasts, that's sustainable. As we're talking about GameFi, what do you think about the future? I mean, can we expect that GameFi is going to explode in the near future, or is it going to be dead?
So like I mentioned, those two caveats, I feel like if you can make the two, crack the two together, like make it work or marry them together, it would really take off. Why? Because number one, traditional gaming industry or gaming itself is very lucrative. So I expect that when there's a move, a pivot to Web3, I expect the same. So this could lead to a lot of initial adoption and acquisition if you pump in marketing or whatever, as well as a lot of investment into product development to making a good game. The second part is retention. So you need to create a real value of like real element value creation that gamers are looking for. Without this, it would not be, you cannot retain them. So it won't be sustainable, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like when it comes to the future, it's really hard to predict, right? I mean, it's really hard, no matter what we think about the future, whether it's in 2 months or 6 months or 1 year, it's really hard to actually imagine how it's going to be like. So,
Yeah.
but in the end, I still want to see GameFi to explode and to actually succeed, because it is one of the, I would say, industries in Web3 where we can actually get as many people on board as possible. Because just imagine all the gamers out there, they're playing thousands of hours, and they are the ones that GameFi projects are trying to focus on. They're trying to get those people on their projects. And if we get them into the GameFis, then I believe that the future of Web3 will be much, much brighter, and we will be able to see mass adoption sooner than later, right? And
Right.
and as we're talking about the future of the GameFi, I would like to think that Band protocol will play a very important role in the GameFi space, as well as in the whole Web3 industry. So what's the future like for you guys? What's your roadmap like for the next 6 months or 1 year?
So actually we're also the same as you. We're quite bullish in gaming, and we really hope to see like a huge uptake because as we mentioned, it's lucrative already. There's a lot of gamers out there already. And it's not like even traditional gaming, you do pay money. There's always that economic elements to it also. So it'll be exciting to see how this pivot and have a boom in Web3. In terms of what Band is doing, so actually our VRF product will be live at the end of this month on several partner chains, yours included. So partners can already start experimenting with it. We also extend marketing efforts to really help support, I would say, springboard games who want to work with us. We can really help you with marketing. And secondly, we actually offer tech consultations on using these or generating random number, or like how you want to apply it to. Is it for NFT minting? Is it for in-game randomness? Is it for NFT like in-game assets? I mean, so we're really excited to that, and we hope we can help people expand the gaming use cases and ecosystems.
That's really, really awesome to hear. First of all, what you're saying is that your VRF product will be live, including in our chain on OKC. That's really, really great news. And another thing that you mentioned was the technical support. I think it's one of the reasons why, developers choose one product or one platform over another, because they want to get as much support as possible. Of course, they can do everything by themselves, but in the end, the support really makes it, easier to create value for both parties and at the same time grow together, right? And I'm really glad that your dedication to offer technical support to developers and help them to actually, integrate your products onto their projects and use your services and products as much as possible. That really makes me bullish as well on you guys and the whole ecosystem as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. This was a really, really great talk with you guys. I mean, I learned a lot actually from you guys today. And I hope that we'll be able to talk more again, and probably then like you guys will be one of the most important players of Web3, offering not only Oracle solutions, but other solutions as well. And I hope to see you guys grow and succeed. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To learn more about Band Protocol, check out the show notes of this episode. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Peace.